Hello and welcome to Peeves and Qs, your weekly podcast where we ask each other questions and talk about what's annoying us each and every week. I'm your host, Mr. Red, and with me is Woods, L.
Hello.
Mischief Gay.
Hey.
Carmen Sandiego.
Hello.
Mr. Red, that's me, and Clever Girl.
Howdy.
All right, we're all here, and
we're queer.
And we're queer.
Get used to it.
Get used to it. So yeah, Peeves and Qs.
How was everyone's week?
Yeah, how have you guys been? How are you guys?
It's been like almost a month.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a little bit.
We've all hung out because we've been so busy working on awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
End of the summer.
Yeah.
It's September.
It's like officially like creeping into fall.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm ready.
I feel like winter just happened though, and I'm not ready to go back.
Same. You know what? We had a hot fall last year. We could have a hot fall this year.
Yeah.
So remember when we went to we were all there, Apple Orchard?
Oh yeah, we were dying
of heat.
Oh yeah.
I hope it's hot for Halloween. Or not hot, but like
warmer.
Yeah, I can't stand when it snows before Halloween.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
I think I wore a winter coat.
Well, you're going to be a stormtrooper this year, so...
True.
So you'll be warm enough.
A stormtrooper?
That'll be fun.
For my nephew.
Oh.
You know, if you really commit, you could put like air ventilation in it, and then you'll be cool.
That's true. Some of these costumes are like $600. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, that's wild.
Those are the people who build them and spend that much into it.
No.
But like, Mr. Gay, he's doing a show right now.
Yeah, you're doing a show. What's that like?
it's long.
You like forget what it's like.
Yeah.
And how much you're just like, you're owned by them for a couple of months.
And this is, it's like weird, because like I'm so used to being in shows that are big chorus shows.
Oh.
And this one
like
is
a chorus
not
line.
at
What
all.
show?
Gypsy.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
And my character that I am is a one-act character. Like, I'm only in the first act, and I'm not in the second act.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can leave it intermission then.
Yeah.
We will be home in time to go to bed.
It's like the opposite of a smoker's entrance.
When you're not, when it's not an ensemble show, I feel like you're on your own a lot.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird, because, like, it's so, like, isolated. Like, all the characters are isolated, all the rehearsals are isolated.
Yeah, exactly. Do you feel like you're probably not bonding with the cast too much?
Actually, it's weirdly enough, I felt that way at first, but this past week, since we started run-throughs, like, we have so much downtime because every scene only has certain characters in it, so a lot of us are just backstage just talking to each other. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I bonded really good with a few of them, yeah.
Cool.
I remember being, like, the lead in Joseph, like, one year, and I loved it and hated it, because I never got to talk to anybody, and I never got to rehearse with anybody else. Because you're just the narrator, so you're not even hardly talking to Joseph. You're just like wandering.
To the audience.
You're just I'm either in rehearsal by myself, learning my songs, or blocking, or getting and then but you're the lead. So there's that. And then the next year, being in the chorus of like West Side Story, I was like, wow, this is fun. Mm-hmm. Like this is where it's at.
Being in the ensemble is a lot more fun at times, depending on the show.
Yeah. Agreed. And as long as you have
depending on the show,
fun friends and everything.
I was in a show once where I played the cop that showed up in the last like 30 seconds of the show. That was my only role in the entire show, but when they did those full run-throughs, I had to be there, so it's just a lot of sitting
There are no small parts.
There's no small parts.
No.
There's no small parts. Yeah, I haven't been in a show in a long time, though, so I don't remember.
Are you itching?
Yeah, I want to. It depends on the show, obviously, but I just want to do a thing with friends.
I'm doing...
It's mainly the people.
Phantom Space.
What?
At Renfest.
At Renfest.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was a show, and I was like,
no, it's
I've never heard of it.
It's like a separate thing. You had to go and audition for it.
Ooh.
Neat.
Well, that's cool.
It was interesting. It was a last-minute decision to just go do it.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Those are sometimes the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I really don't know what it's all about.
Well, you've been busy.
Yeah.
Being in a different state.
Yeah, you went to a different state.
Scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Where'd you go?
Tell our audience about it.
Almost died.
Oh, no.
Almost went off the cliff on a horse.
Oh, no.
Just saying. He tripped.
He tripped?
She tripped.
Yikes.
On a mountain switchback.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is.
In Wyoming.
Holy
Tell us about it.
I thought it was Oklahoma.
No.
One thing we all thought it was going to be a lot different. We didn't realize that we were going up the mountain on switchbacks. We thought we were going through the flatlands.
Mm-hmm.
No. Because they told
Did the horses
us,
know that?
The horses found out. they have different.
I didn't sign up for this.
They have different like campsites that you go and you can stay in. And we thought we were going on one, and we ended up being taken on a different one. They said, no, that one's way farther. Blah blah blah. We're taking you on a shorter one. Okay, shorter one being a 5-hour ride, but.
Ouch.
It was so scary. I'll have to show you guys pictures.
Did you have a guide? Or
yes,
no?
We had a guide. We had a couple people with us. And it was so scary. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I took my phone out on one little thing that wasn't as bad as the rest to take a picture. But I wish I had a GoPro on so bad. I don't have one, but because it was
that would have been really cool.
I know it was so scary. I wanted to be like, I gotta prove to everyone what but I couldn't even grab my phone out because I was too scared. And it was the most intense riding that I've ever done in my life. Like you had to be like physically riding the entire time. You couldn't just sit there and let the horse go. Yikes. It was because you were going up and down. Like the horse would be like trying to climb up rock. I don't know how this is legal. I don't know how it's legal. And then he'd be like trying to get down on you'd have to lean like way back in the seat, like flat back.
So did you have to say I have this level of riding ability before you went on the trip?
Could I go?
So I don't think so. But the thing is my dad had talked to them prior, and he said, "Oh yeah, we've owned horses our whole lives."
So
I'm not an advanced rider. I'm not
rough terrain. Absolutely not.
No way.
We don't have rough terrain.
No. I mean, I used to ride a lot when I was young, and then I had an accident where I fell off a horse and got a bad concussion, and I stopped riding as much. So I'm not as advanced.
So were you wearing a helmet?
No. Nobody wore helmets.
Why?
I don't know, because it doesn't matter if you fall off because you're just going to die.
I mean,
yeah, like off a cliff.
Yeah, that
there's a certain point.
The company would have liability with that.
You sign a paper, but it wasn't like a incredibly thick pamphlet or paper or anything.
They're like, if you die, you can't sue us.
You're right.
Yeah, seriously, it just said if anything happens, you can't sue us. And I was like, of course, we're going to be out in the wilderness. It's fine. And so,
they at least give you like a parachute or something in case you...
No. If you were to fall, you'd be falling on rocks and trees. Okay, so we get back. Okay, all right. Oh, no, I'm not going to get there yet. You're probably going to have to cut a lot of this out.
We'll see.
Okay, so we get into camp. None of us thought about elevation. About weather in the elevation. Because I had looked and it was going to be 75 during the day, around that, and then it was going to be 56 for a low. So that's what I packed for.
It's a big range.
That's normal.
Okay.
That was what the town that these mountains were in.
Mm-hmm.
That was the town. So that was not the case.
I was going to say, so elevation, it's like 50 during the day and 30 at night.
It started to, it got kind of rainy that night. It was beautiful during that time, but we only had a few hours span before we had to, get ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so it started raining. Rained all night long. I had to pee like 50 times out in the rain. So scared because I heard something. There was bears or something out there. I don't know what, but
it was a whole ass animal.
There was a whole ass animal outside. Let me tell you. Okay, so we're outside and it rained all night, and then in the morning we get up. It's hailing. It was just water, slush, snow. There's snow all over all the mountains all around us. And so we go ask the guy, we're like, hey, we didn't know about this weather. But
when was this?
Monday.
And it was snowing.
Yeah, and he said there's going to be a winter storm coming through, and it's going to be about 12 inches of snow by morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's going to be kind of rough going back. By Tuesday morning it was going to be that. It's going to be really rough riding back. So we're like, can we go now? So we
go home.
Packed up and got out.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And it was, wow. I mean, it was so cold. I don't think I've ever been that cold in my life. I actually picked up a little bit of a cold.
Oh, yikes.
Because it was so cold. And I was up half the night with a flashlight and bear spray.
Bear spray.
Bear spray.
you ever see SpongeBob?
Is that
just draw a circle in the ground?
Yeah, no, that's for bearfish.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Is it just like pepper spray for bears?
It's like really, really strong pepper spray.
Pepper spray's already strong.
But like, they just can't hand out guns willy-nilly, so,
I mean, if you had like a gun license, could you bring a gun?
Yeah, my dad did.
Oh, okay.
And, but it was like,
sorry,
really super scary, okay?
I feel bad like a poor raccoon's gonna walk by your street with bear spray and it's gonna die.
Yeah, it's too much.
No, it was the scariest thing ever.
So,
and then, I was going into something, but I don't remember now.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, was this one of those experiences where overall you didn't have like as much time of fun that justified the experience, or did you?
It was fun. Like we were able to go hang out at the ranch and stuff. So that was cool that we were able to do that. But I wish we could have stayed out there and went like fishing. I wanted to go herping, but no way that was going to happen in like
what is that?
Snowy, but like finding snakes and reptiles. And I brought my snake hook and everything.
A snake hook?
So like catching it like a fish? Like catching a snake like a fish?
Like you go and you find like reptiles and amphibians and stuff. Like you go and you like and you look under stuff and you like
get them. And you like keep them?
No, you don't keep them.
You just look at them. It's like a catch and release.
It's like fishing.
You just find them and you're like, oh, I found the blah, 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 blah.
So you use the hook to like lift things?
Yeah, to lift it. It's to lift a snake so they don't lunge at you.
Did you like sneak some in your bag to take home?
I didn't.
He said he's like, she's gonna come home with a bunch of animals.
No, you can't take anything off of it. It's protected government property, technically.
What was the best part of the trip? Like the thing you're like, I'm gonna remember
the fact that you survived, probably.
Yeah, that was incredible because it was.
I'm sure the sights were beautiful.
Freaking scary! Oh my god!
Wyoming.
But it was fun. I just wish we didn't have such a. I wish we didn't have such a scary.
Yeah, you couldn't enjoy it because
you would have had more downtime.
Yeah, we went on a ride in the morning, the next morning at the ranch, and that was really fun because it was a shorter ride. It was only like an hour or so, and it was like. Way nicer. There wasn't like.
How could you even walk after that? Like 7 hour or 5 hour? No, but like really.
Oh, I was walking like I didn't have my land legs. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Just trip into the wall while you're walking.
Yeah, honestly, it's sort of like that. Cool. But especially when you're like, I had cramps on the way back because you get that in elevation sometimes, I guess. And I was like riding, like trying to kick my horse constantly.
Like, hurry the fuck up.
Oh my god. Whew. It was,
well, cool.
It was something else to tell you that. I'll show you, I gotta show you pictures. I can do that afterwards. It was something else.
Neat. Well, I've been good.
You don't got a story to back that up, you know, like she does.
This isn't my question, but what's like the longest you guys have ever gone without sleep?
Probably like 3 days.
3 days? How?
Were you seeing like shadow people?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe like over 24 hours. That was like because of travel, though, like international travel. So
I was somewhere between a day and 2 days.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 30 hours.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But
it's very hard for me because I'm like 10 o'clock. Holy moly, I guess.
Like with jet lag, you're trying to force yourself to stay awake so you acclimate, but you just feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
So, no.
I've definitely stayed up all night before and then like had my whole day and then gone to bed the next night and just been like, what a weird sensation.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled an all-nighter. obviously several in college, and those were horrible. And then just being so terrified I was going to sleep through the exam I was studying for that I couldn't go to sleep. So that was, not worth it. Not last night, but the night before, I got like very little sleep because I was just up late doing things. And then I slept for like a couple hours. And then last night, apparently, Jody stayed over, but I thought that I got a good night's sleep, but then I remembered waking up like 4 different times for different reasons once I had like...
I can't believe you don't remember getting up, grabbing the Tums bottle, crunch on these Tums, and me asking... What's wrong? I have really bad heartburn. Saying,
I do remember.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't, when I woke up, I was like, I must have gotten a full night's sleep. And then, why am I so, all day today, I've just been exhausted. And I didn't know why until I was like, all these memories came rushing back. Yeah. So that was weird. Mm-hmm. So I'm really tired. So sorry if I'm tired.
Thanks.
My condolences. Okay,
Is that a peeve of yours?
No, I just was going to talk about it.
Well, what do you think? What's been peeving you?
Oh, are we moving on to...
I just thought that'd be a good way to transition.
A good segue.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our Peeves section. Hello, everybody. This is Peeves and Qs. Darn it. Let's just get our... Does anybody have a peeve for the group?
I have mine. So... I work at a dentist's office. Surprise, no. And I know it's a place that people don't like to be. And so, like, any joke you can kind of make to, like, ease their, anxiety or anything like that, I'm usually all about. Yeah. However, one of the doctors that I work for makes this joke that pisses me off to no end.
He makes it often?
She makes it often.
How dare you assume?
I know. Excuse me.
That's right. Well, he knows I specifically work with one doctor, but it just happened to be this other one. She goes to sit down and, we always tell the patient, hey, if you need us to stop, make sure you raise this specific hand, or if you get tired, you need to break anything, do that. And then she always adds, and I hate it, as she's always adds, if you need to hit somebody, hit Jody, because I have the handpiece. And it's
as a joke, not really.
Yeah, as a joke, but I'm just how about we don't hit anybody?
Yeah.
We don't need to hit anybody.
Yeah.
And I know it's a joke, but it's just so fucking offensive to me as an assistant. If you need to hit somebody, who fucking cares about Jody? Just hit her.
Right.
No.
So, that's mine.
I would add something each time.
Like you would
add the same thing every time or something.
Then
say, get her to stop.
Say, yeah, right, in the exact same tone of voice.
I just don't say anything and I stare right at her.
Notices.
I don't laugh at all because I don't want her to think that that's okay.
Right.
But I can't say in front of the patient. I could just say or we don't have to hit anybody. Yeah. I could say that.
Because then the patient thinks it's a joke, but you're actually going back and forth.
Don't fucking hit me. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you want to stab someone, you can grab the scalpel and hit.
Yeah. But believe it or not, there are people who fling their hands up.
Yeah, there's people who try to stand up, I know.
Yeah.
Whoa, really? Why?
Because
it hurts.
I
just lay there in horror.
Yeah.
And then, if something's bad, I do the hand thing, they always tell you, and you're just
I know, and we notice the subtlest, your nostrils flare, and we know to stop.
I usually will, clench my
exactly, and we know exactly that we need to stop, you need to break.
Sedated.
I might have told this,
right.
I might have told this before, but, I hate needles in general, but especially in regards to the mouth area. So, this one time, I was numb for, something, they were, filling a cavity or something. And, but it didn't numb me all the way. And so they were like, oh, you're not fully numb. We should do it again. And I said, no, don't do that. Just go through with it. So they did was it drilling? I don't even remember. It was some part of the
removal of caries.
Yeah. And I was just just do it. I'll power through because I would rather.
I was assisting when this was happening.
Yeah, the one time that you've ever assisted on something that I've had
and I was
done.
just trying to keep my cool and not pass out.
I would rather that than I don't even want to.
I had a thyroid biopsy too. Just the other week. It was rough.
That sounds horrifying.
It was rough.
That sounds really scary.
They did 8 needles in me. Even this, the first one was a numbing one, right in your throat, and then they went and they took 3 things, and it was so weird because they had a ultrasound. They had to put to watch the screen, and then the little nodules would be moving up, and they'd be It was.
You can't see this at home, but it's terrifying.
It was bad, and then they did the same thing, and it was rough.
Yeah.
So that's.
I had a small filling done without any Novocaine, and because I was just I don't need that.
Yeah, it won't hurt that bad.
And by the end of it, I didn't say anything, but by the end of it, I was I totally should have had something hit her like a son of a bitch.
I made a huge mistake.
Yeah, I made a huge mistake, and the assistant knew. She was just like, well, you closed your eyes, so I knew it like really hurt. And I'm like, yeah, I did.
Gave away the game. When I worked at Kmart, customers would always make the same jokes. That would always annoy me.
Yeah.
Like
it's not. I don't care about the same jokes. I make the same jokes to patients because they don't know.
Right.
My coworkers know that I make the same goddamn jokes, but they work and they make the patient less anxious. But I don't ever say like, oh, if this hurts, it's the doctor's fault. It's not mine. They say that joke a lot too. If this hurts, it's Jody's fault.
Well, you should when you're working with that doctor.
I guess.
Great.
That's just my peeve.
Cool. Do you want to close?
I'm gonna close that peeve.
Close peeve.
Both peeve.
Close peeve. Close the peeve from that trunk. Who has another? Who else has peeve for the group?
Oh, does no one else have one?
I
have a general peeve is when people mistake kindness or someone's like quiet nature as being weak or like you don't know what's going on.
That is a good one.
Yes.
Or your like flexibility.
Yeah, or you're flexible. Like if you're very flexible with your schedule, it doesn't mean you're not busy. It means you have the privilege of moving things around. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean you're not busy.
Right.
Yeah. So respect people's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you get a thing where somebody doesn't. Like you, I don't know if you're talking about yourself. But
I'm talking about myself, but also just like in general.
I see a lot.
If somebody doesn't say something, then it means they're cool with it. They assume that like, oh, you didn't have a problem with this, so it's fine.
Yes, or like you're just,
Yeah, like you're more of like an observer as opposed to being very, very, like, I don't know, not they're bubbly, but just like very vocal about your opinions. It doesn't mean you don't have opinions about something.
They're more so to be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna switch with this person, or I'm just gonna move that person around because they won't care.
Right.
It's like, well, did you ask them? Because they didn't say anything, but also, did you ask them?
To be a decent human being.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah. There are some people that I'm not gonna put anyone out by pushing my opinions or my thoughts about this specific thing. But I do feel this thing, and if they ask me, then I'll come forward or whatever.
I can relate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Do you get walked on?
Right.
Yeah. I can relate. That's my opinion.
End of statement.
Good to know.
Do you feel like you get like walked on a lot because maybe you don't like you appear?
I do and I
quieter.
don't. I feel like as time has gone on and as I've gotten older. And now that I'm like 57,
you're an elder now.
You look great for your age.
No, I just feel like now, like I'm more, likely to stand up for myself.
Yeah. Good.
But
I did not have that at your age. I still don't have that.
Like from time to time, I just won't say anything. But a lot, like it's more like it used to be like. 10% of the time I would maybe stand up for myself. Now it's probably like 60% of the time I'll stand up for myself.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, is it worth it?
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not.
But then you get to the point where you're like, it's not worth it to put up with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's easy to slip into a habit of doing that.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So stand up for yourself.
Yes.
And be nice to people.
Yeah, and
ask
be courteous.
how they're doing.
This isn't like
whatever.
Yeah. This isn't the exact same thing, but sometimes I'll be in a group and two other people, not me, are talking to each other, and one of them will say give the other person information that's wrong. They'll just be like, oh yeah, that's this, but I know for a fact that it's not that, and I never know if I'm like, do I let this become a thing that the other person thinks, or
it's all in how you do it.
Yeah. You never want to be the person that's like, oh, actually it's this, and like constantly correcting everyone and being like, oh, no,
nobody likes you.
Yeah, because nobody likes you, and that's just a mean thing. But at the same time, that is misinformation that's being spread. I feel like I have to be like, actually...
I guess it just depends on the relationship, maybe. With
the
person.
Yeah. If I'm like in a group of people I don't know and two people that I don't know are talking, I'm like...
forget that.
Yeah, right.
You can live in ignorance by...
Right. But if somebody's talking to Jody and they say something, I'll be like, don't you be talking to the Jodester and giving her
false dreams.
Right.
Peep close?
Peep close, cool. I concur.
Do you have a peeve?
Well, I don't have a peeve, but I do want to substitute in a piece of advice for the audience, and that is that I want to tell you guys that sometimes it's okay to let a no happen. Like, let what some people might think of as rejection, let that take place. If you're afraid to ask somebody something because you're worried that the answer is going to be no, then you're just not, you might not ask, and that will lead to that thing definitely not happening as opposed to a potential of that thing happening. Just speaking statistically, it's better to have a shot at something than 100% chance of failure. I think a lot of people live in fear of rejection.
I am absolutely one of them.
Yeah.
Good advice. Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I think just I can almost not think of a single situation where putting yourself out there to make a request or to ask something would be worse than not doing it.
I don't know. Rejection hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts. Even if it's the smallest thing, it hurts so bad. So I understand why people don't do it. I am completely that person. Yes. And I know it's just because I have really major stuff from my childhood, but rejection hurts.
It does.
So it's hard. So don't feel bad if it's hard.
Right, don't feel bad.
It's gonna be hard. I've had moments where I was so heartbroken over something that I was so sure it was supposed to happen for me right then, or that it was the right thing for me. Mm-hmm. And then looking back, I'm like, oh, thank goodness that didn't happen because I got to do this other thing.
That's true.
Or this other thing was actually for me, and that's why that door was closed, because this door was coming, and I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's hard, though. You gotta push through that hardness.
It's so crazy, because I am I also am one of those people that, can't
take rejection well.
Yeah. But, the last peeve, I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm getting into the mindset where I'm like, fuck it, let's do this, let's just do it. But then, half of the time when I say that, I won't actually do it.
But then you're getting in the mindset.
I'll, say it to myself,
great.
fuck it, let's do it. And then I don't do it.
I am not like that, and I adore people who are can
it just depends
grow
on
that way.
What is the risk that you're taking by going for it? If there's really no risk, and the worst thing that can happen is you're right back where you started, then what's the harm of trying?
Yeah, looking bad.
Yeah.
I was just looking bad. Being embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, looking dumb, foolish.
People thinking you're not as good.
But
that's right.
Here's the question. Let's think about this from the other perspective. Will that person or that group actually...
Why not? Well, we do.
Yeah.
Do you? Well, why do you do that? Let's say somebody, let's just say hypothetically, somebody asks you out that you don't want to go out with, and you tell them.
Right now?
Right now, this minute. That you don't want to go out with. Not because,
I'd probably say yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, great. Not because of some other reasons, I'm already in a thing, or
okay, so this is an extreme hypothetical.
Right. This person, you do not want to date this person.
Why?
Maybe they're super ugly, or maybe they're super annoying, or maybe they're too young, or whatever.
Maybe they talk like this, and they have cross eyes, and they're only interested in ham radio and RC airplanes.
What?
That was their date of a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I was like, who are you? Do we know this person right here?
It's definitely a thing.
That's a separate question.
I went on a date a couple weeks ago. I don't know what I would do. It would be very hard to say no because I would be so flattered, but that's just a me thing.
But, you wouldn't think less of them for asking you.
No, I would actually probably think more.
Great. See, there's a certain level of confidence that it takes to ask somebody something.
What's kind of L gets me.
The people who are going to think poorly of you are... bad people. They're not good people.
Anyone, and I'm kind of looking at Clever Girl here, but anyone who would make a judgment of another person, especially for asking something, probably shouldn't be doing that.
Well, not asking, so that's not what I was thinking of asking. But...
Well, making a request or trying, putting yourself out there, going out on a limb.
I've just done it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you get the rejection, and it's just
rejection does hurt, but it's sometimes better to be rejected than never having tried. No. It depends on the situation.
Sorry, I just don't agree with that. I don't.
It depends on the situation.
Sure.
Okay, great.
You have to get yourself out of your comfort zone to make progress towards some things.
Yeah. If you never try to do anything, nothing will ever happen.
And if you don't want to do that, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're fine with that. But if you see something like that's over there, you're like, oh, that's so scary and I might fail, but I want to try anyway, and you don't have anything to lose, then just go and do it.
That's the thing. I always have something to lose, so there's no point in doing it.
That feels like my career path right now. I have to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah, that's hard. I feel you a lot.
Right,
Lots of money. And not only do I have my money to worry about, I also have Mr. Rudd's money to worry about. So that's always fun when it gets there.
So that's my piece of advice, is to let a no happen. Don't be afraid of the no.
I will try and do that.
Yeah. And so, advice closed.
Advice closed.
Who would like to take up the mantle?
I'm trying to think of
I have one, I guess.
A peeve or a
peeve?
Yeah, a peeve.
Shit, I had one, and then...
You had a positive thought.
No, I had a peeve, and then I thought of a better peeve. Now I can't think of the better peeve. I can only think of the original peeve.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You'll think of it and save it for a different episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess I'll just go with my original peeve, which isn't very exciting. Ow, oh god.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh, cramp!
That's a peeve.
Hold your foot like that. Hold your foot.
Do you need some mustard?
Mustard.
Mustard helps with cramps.
What?
I don't know.
So anyway, why is it like this? So my peeve is people who share animal abuse or child abuse videos on Facebook.
I know. I hate that.
I'm like,
do you feel personally victimized?
No, they're like, oh my god, this is so horrible. Like, why would anybody do this? Yeah, then don't fucking post it.
They're trying to change the world.
I know, but it's like you don't need to show. I
know it exists in the world, but some people don't, and it's. Yeah.
I don't know if these things still happen, but whenever I was watching TV and Sarah McLachlan commercials come on, I would
Arms of an Angel.
I would always mute it and be like, I'm not watching this. Are you kidding me? I'm watching Parks and Recreation. I don't want to be sad about.
Those commercials are like 15 minutes long.
They are.
They're so long.
You like switch the channel. You're like, it must be over now.
Yeah, I know that's the main program.
I'm sure the people who are sharing this stuff are trying to make a difference and like showing. And for some people, it is a very eye opening.
Yeah.
I learn a lot of stuff like from the things people post. But it's sad that like the people who need to change it the most won't change because you posted that.
That's true of like everything that you're like, oh, I'm going to post this thing and it'll change someone's. No, it won't.
It might.
But my problem is, when they share that stuff and I see it, it's in my mind for like a good 3 months at least.
Oh, yeah.
It's disturbing. It's
every day, it like pops in my head at some point.
There's a few that I can think of right now.
I can think of one, and I could seriously start crying. And it's not even an animal abuse. It was somebody posting a really like funny or like, what isn't this crazy that Mr. Red showed me?
Oh yeah.
It was these alligators. They're all in like this pen, and the feeder throws a piece of meat in there, and the one alligator goes for it, but doesn't get the meat. He gets another alligator's foot, does a death roll, and tears it off.
Ew!
And I'm like, alligator doesn't have a foot anymore. I seriously, like for a good 2 months, I was like, don't bring it up, I will cry on the spot about it. It's so sad.
The worst thing about it was I was scrolling through Reddit or Facebook or whatever, and I found this video, and I didn't know what it was about, so I watched it the first time and I missed it because there's like a lot of alligators in the scene, and I was like, that's weird. And then Clever Girl came up and was like, what are you watching? I'm like, I don't know yet. I was still watching it, and then we both saw it at the same time, and we were both just like,
I was scarred. I was scarred. So I understand. Oh, that's really unfortunate that stuff sticks with you for so long.
So long.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you have a kind heart that it gets to you, but...
Yeah, that's good.
I don't like it.
It's bad.
Ugh.
Yeah, that sucks. Don't do that, anybody. Nobody. Yeah, everybody's on. There's like an
warning that stuff.
There's like an episode of Community where somebody's protesting like oil spills or whatever, and one of the other college students comes up and says, "Nobody is on the other side of this." So,
unfortunately, there are people who do that.
Okay,
the capitalists that are like
somebody who needs to see it to open their eyes. Send it to them privately.
There you go.
Don't post it on Facebook for everybody to see.
Yeah, like because the videos just go. Like you scroll past it,
you're right. They just start playing.
Yeah. Do they do volume now? I feel like they go back and forth. Like when you scroll, does it start playing music? Like the
mine doesn't.
No,
it depends.
Mine doesn't unless I click on the video.
Mine goes.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
It just it depends on.
Well, cool.
Good peeve.
I agree with you. That's bad.
I love when like I don't even know something's my peeve and like, but I'm like, I hate that. Yeah. Did you come up with something?
I have something. It's kind of
Share
hard
with
to
the class.
say.
Oh.
We'll help you.
So basically, when you're receiving constant criticism from from someone over and over and over, and they don't understand why you don't want to hang out with them or be with them.
Imagine that.
Or like. Then they're just like, why? Why don't you want to hang out with me? Why don't you? It's like, because, did you not realize, that everything you do, you're criticizing me, you're saying this, you're saying that, you're putting me down, and I feel so, and even sometimes making a joke, which this doesn't have to do with any of you, but, I don't know, certain things, it's just, especially when they know exactly how to get you upset.
Buttons,
and then they get you upset and you're upset and then they're like, shouldn't get upset so easy.
And it's like that is a peeve of mine.
Can I assume that this is a family member?
So you can't just cut them out?
No, but you can
distance yourself,
which I've done before.
I think more people may need to do that. I know it's probably wrong because family
it isn't.
Okay. But I am a cutter in the sense of I do cut the negativity out of my life and I will not be around it.
And she's in the medical field, so she's a cutter in that sense too.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, it's so, and then it's just hard to even explain a little bit. Like, then they just...
Because they don't ever look at themselves and like what they're doing wrong.
And how it's affecting you.
Yeah.
You're like, you can tell somebody, oh, you need to do this or something. But, like, when it's senseless stuff, like things that don't matter, but you're still criticizing that.
Yeah.
And then, or whenever you get a chance, like, in front of somebody else, saying something that's going to make that person feel embarrassed. And you know it's going to make them feel embarrassed, but you're just saying it as a joke, so it's fine.
Oh, that's not okay.
Like, it's just not...
that's bullying.
And then it embarrasses you.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know.
I fully understand what you're talking about. I have a family member who does the same thing. It's just constantly like judgments and criticisms. And then it's like, oh, well, we're just not going to show up to like family events or whatever because we don't want to
get criticized for not doing that.
Right.
So. Yeah.
And my mother today, we had a conversation about it. It was like, you just gotta give it right back to him. You just have to like...
I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No, I have tried to say things to deter the conversation. Right. Like, they say something to me, and I say, you try
to just
oh, no, it's okay, or blah, blah, blah. I'm doing my best. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. And then it almost seems like you're giving in that bickering. And I don't want to bicker. I just don't want that to... I just want to stop that person from saying something that I either can't control or that doesn't matter to them.
Is it like they're thriving on... cutting you down?
I don't know, but it's just...
That's just kind of who they are.
Yeah, I think it's just nitpicky type of person.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just, like, I don't want to give into that and then so-called bicker, but really I'm just like, okay, can you please stop? Or something.
And then they're like, why are you so sensitive? It's
yes, exactly. Yeah. And then another, then maybe other people in your family are like, okay, we don't need to be doing this. Or I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and now my wound is open and we've solved nothing. Yeah,
yes, but it's happened so many times, like even in like public places where it's like, oh, blah, 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 like saying this and this and this, and then finally I'm like, okay, please stop. Like, can you not say this stuff to me? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, now I'm embarrassed because people are like,
right, because, especially if you, like, break down.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Oh, my God. Come on.
I hate this aversion to sensitivity that the world tries to force on you. Like, don't be so sensitive. Why? Why couldn't people just be nicer?
Don't be such a girl.
Yeah, right.
So stupid.
The whole thing about don't cry at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cry all the time at work.
There's a really unhealthy relationship with, like, being in touch with your emotions. Like, why is that a bad thing?
Right.
Yes.
You should be.
I grew up with that.
And that is gonna fuck people up.
It did. It makes me kind of have to look and be like, I don't want to have that view when other people, you know, because I can get home, I can walk, I can be completely fine, and getting home and be like, this is so horrible, like, because I'm so scared of, like, doing anything in public.
I understand.
I used to watch Pocahontas over and over, like kids do, you know. I used to watch, and I would cry when it came to the bad parts. I would just be like crying, and my dad would come up to me and be like, don't you cry, blah, 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 you can't. So eventually, I taught myself to watch that movie and just be like,
and just not feel emotions.
Yeah.
That's healthy, Dad.
But that's what so I can just sit there.
Can I ask,
until I come alone.
Did you grow up with a bunch of, like, boys and men, like brothers and stuff?
No. Well, all the neighborhood kids were boys that I grew up with, and then my mom's friend, who she babysat most days of the week, were boys, except for the little one. The little one was a girl, but she was so much younger than me. I didn't hang out with her, but yeah. It was very, that side of the family is very, you know,
male.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
I don't
toxic.
know. Yeah. Like, cutthroat, like, kind of. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
But
I know that's, like, how...
Not all of them, but...
Right. That's how men are, like, taught to react to their emotions, is, like...
It's mainly the men on that side. It's not the women, really. It's not even the women. But it's the guys like, oh, come on, you cut your crying out. Yeah. It's like, but I'm not trying to
that's bad. Cry when you're sad about things. Come on.
Yep.
It feels good when you're done.
So many men are going crazy and doing crazy things in the world because they were never allowed to express their emotions appropriately.
Strong agree.
Yep. Great.
Cool. Peeve. Yeah, very much concur. Our peeve closed, I think, right? Peeve closed.
Yep.
Cool. That's everybody peeves, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on to the other half of our title, Qs. Who has a Qs for the group?
I do, and I'm really excited for it.
Oh.
Okay. I want to preface this with, I do believe there is a right answer. But I just want to explore the thought behind this.
So, like, what do you guys think about...
I guess. I'm nervous to say it because I don't want it to sound bad. I just honestly, like, woke up one morning and wondered this. I was just like, okay, should or do you think it I can't get it out. Do you think do you think...
You want me to make it?
No, I got it. Okay. Do you think homosexual people should apologize to their beards, I'm going to say? You know what I mean by that?
Wait, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
People of the opposite gender that they have dated in the past.
Oh.
Or married or...
Wait, I have to clarify something?
Yeah, we need some questions answered.
Do these people know that they're their beard?
That's also the thing. Well, yeah, I would assume, yes. Okay, so those people know or have either found out or something.
Oh.
Okay, so...
I feel like the obvious answer is no. They don't have to.
Well, if they knew prior, which I believe some people do know prior, and then they still get into that relationship and marry this person and blah, 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 have children with them.
Right.
But the whole time they already know that they... You know, and they don't tell that person.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're like, well, all along, I just, now I don't, you know, then I feel like that's wrong.
What do you think, Mischief K? I really just want to know, like, what you think about this. Have you ever, had you ever, like, dated or gone out with
Well, the first person you ever kissed was a girl, if you remember that, wasn't it? In, like, kindergarten or something?
Okay, well, that's different, but maybe not.
I can call her up and apologize. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry I kissed you, I'm gay. Bye, hang up.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think that if it was just dating, like if they just dated, and it wasn't like a serious long-term relationship,
then
like if it was a couple of months, few months, even like 6-7 months, I don't think...
Even like a year?
Yeah, I would
5 years.
say no to that. I'd say no to that.
I don't think you would have to apologize for that.
No.
Hello?
But going with what what's come L said, if this person married somebody, had kids with somebody, and was with this person for years and years and years, and all along knew that they were gay, or better yet, went behind their spouse's back
and cheated
on them with the same sex, I think that warrants an apology.
I do too. That is what I was getting at.
Is, does this other party know what's going on and is just going along for the ride?
If the other person knows, then obviously no apology needed.
Right, because they're in on it. Yeah.
I always just kind of think of the person that had dated the homosexual person, and I know this is not a thing, but maybe some people still think this oh, I did this to them. I'm so awful, I did this to them. And they're kind of messed up from it. And I just think, because it happened to me. For at least 2 years, was on and off with this person who, I knew, I was you are gay. And they were I am not. For 2 years. And then I just had to, of course, cut them out of my life, because that's what I do. And then, lo and behold, yeah, you are. I kind of want an apology.
They later came out. That's what you're saying, yeah.
For the, I don't know, the hurt that I went through.
Because they kept saying that. They kept saying, no, I'm not. And you were like, okay, then I believe you, trust you.
I know, it's
now
such a,
I'm kind of backtracking. So, I feel like it's hard, especially when you're young.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's hard when you're young.
Yeah, because
but does that even count?
Yes, because those are your formative years.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but that's not formative.
It's your dating formative.
I dated
not sexuality
one of my best
formative.
friends.
It could be.
I don't think
when I was younger, and he eventually said, came out. But I knew it, and I knew that as he broke up with me, I was like, "You're gay," and he was like,
"I know," but it's still I don't know.
I know it hurts.
You just feel what's wrong with me that you can't?
It would make me feel better almost because I don't it wasn't even it was nothing that I did.
No,
it was just
but the idea that these people feel is that they turned to the person.
They chose you.
But they never say that.
I know.
I feel like
but that's what these people think.
If they're young and
these people
they're not out, something in their life is holding them back from coming out, whether it's family or friends or whatever.
Or even themselves.
Yeah, so it's hard. And some people, when they're that young, they're still trying to figure it out. They don't even really know. They don't really even know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
Yeah. So then sometimes they'll try dating women.
And I understand it, yeah.
And just see okay, am I really gay? I need to figure it out this way. So in that sense, I don't know if it wants.
I know.
No, because your whole entire heart and soul could be into dating whoever you're dating right now. And then you could down the road, you're now it makes sense, why that didn't work out with that.
You still are messed up. But you can still have stuff that messes you up from
in that past relationship, you were all in on that past relationship. You were trying to make it work. You were doing everything in your power to make that relationship work. You were in it. You weren't cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And then down the road, you're okay, no, never mind. I'm actually gay. I don't think you will.
Oh, never mind. Gay
yeah,
man.
You're well, you whatever. But so I don't know that you necessarily owe that person an apology.
That's what's so interesting.
My final answer, if somebody's older,
unless
they're married to someone, they're in a dedicated relationship with someone, they have kids, whatever, and they knew all along that they were gay.
You best be apologizing.
But wanted both or something.
That needs an apology.
Yeah.
Anything else, I think is...
page.
Yes,
Same
I
page.
agree with him.
Yeah.
I literally woke up one morning, I was like, I wonder if this is a thing. And I just was hanging on to it because I just wanted a good opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, what I want to say on it is, and I want to preempt this by saying that people can realize this about themselves later in life. I think we tend to assume that you figure that stuff out when you're young, but it takes some people there are 50-year-olds that like realize
whenever.
That's not what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about.
My thing is,
I think we have a specific person in mind.
I think we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like my specific situation, it would have been nice to get a message, a call, anything, to just be like this. Yeah, this was it, and I'm sorry if this caused you, because it happened to be that this was happening. Was that big enough for you?
Like, this caused it because this was happening.
I don't know. My situation just, I guess it never really came. I don't know. It's just because I continued to stay best friends with that person.
Exactly. I didn't have that, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
And that's what's...
And I look back at that and I'm like, what? He's my best friend. Like them.
Exactly. And, but when it's just gone and you don't get resolution...
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You don't have anything.
Yeah.
Yes, what?
I think there's a certain point where it doesn't matter depending on the reason for the breakup.
Everyone's relationships are different and how you hold them.
Yeah.
I still hold this person, like, to a great standard, and he's a great person. And we would be friends if, like, he had said something, but now we can't. It's just too...
Yeah.
It's just too far gone.
But in terms of, like, a relationship, if two people just aren't compatible, like, personality-wise, like, sexuality aside, like, if the relationship is just bad because, like, they don't respect each other or whatever.
Right, like a normal breakup.
Like a normal break, like, if one person is...
That's another point I had. If it's a normal breakup, do they apologize? No. Not usually.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I think no. But if it's like a really good relationship, or it would be, but the other person is just like, I have this secret, or like maybe they just aren't happy, unsatisfied because of this thing, probably.
That's all I wanted to know.
Side note, I dated my best friend in high school. I dated her like in like 6th grade. And I'm gay and she's a lesbian.
Whoa. But that's what you saw in each other.
I was going to say, you found comfort in each other. Yep. Just maybe very subconsciously.
Because it was like a really safe relationship, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
And that's cool that somebody can be that for you. I just think it's situation.
It's definitely situation by situation, depending on what happened, and also the people that are involved.
It is a really interesting topic.
I know. Like, I clearly think there's a clear answer, like, no, you don't have to owe them an apology.
Here's the final thing that I think should be said on it, is like, no, you don't have to, but you probably should, just because you don't know what the other person is going through. And it won't put you out that much to be like, hey, unless you dated like 1,000 people and you just have to call all of them.
Hey, just make a Facebook post.
Yeah. Everyone, I'm gay. Listen, sorry, all right?
You should never apologize for being gay. It is also the thing I don't want people to walk away from.
But you should. Yeah, so... What an interesting topic.
Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I just was excited to talk about it.
Well, out of my mind with that one.
I think, should I go next? Does somebody have a burning question, or should I go next? No. Okay. On the topic of relationships, what would you say that your favorite fictional, let's say TV or movie specifically, romance is? Your favorite relationship from movies or TV?
What's yours?
Mine? So...
You're like, oh, I didn't think of an answer.
Yeah, I didn't really, because mine is like a fake thing, which is like if they ever make a movie about the character Nightwing, they will eventually. Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. He will definitely have to be in a relationship with Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and those two are great together. So those two. But from things that have actually happened, that's a tough question. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel.
Good. Why?
Well,
what is it about their romance that you like so much?
I watched that show when I was young, and so I was just susceptible to emotions in a way that I'm now just jaded and cold. But everything about their relationship, whenever they would have like a problem or like get back together or whatever, it would always really get to me, and I would like yay, they're finally together and happy. Oh no, they're breaking up again. It would just get to me. And so there's a lot of holdover from that. But they just have those two actors have really good chemistry together.
That is so interesting that you say that.
Mm-hmm. And they each had their own TV show, so there you go.
That's true.
Yeah. So open it up to the floor, any movie or TV show relationships that you guys particularly, like, would you typically like to go?
Yes, I have two.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One is the movie Wimbledon.
Haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. The relationship between Kirsten Dunst's character and Paul Bettany's character, just the way it starts and how he treats, I just love it. I'm like, this is a great love story. Yeah. And it has, some turmoil, but it's not devastating. It's
not a tragedy.
Yeah, it is just, I love it. I love everything about it. I'm like, yeah, if I could choose my life, I'd want that. My other one, and it's a new development, but it shook me to the core that I liked it so much. We recently watched Brokeback Mountain. Has everybody seen it?
Yes. No. I've seen it.
No.
No.
It is so good. I just really, it's a dramatic.
I'm intrigued by your answer there because those two don't have
a typical relationship.
Well, they don't have like the most romantic relationship.
That's they can't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They love each other so much, and they're two of the
Do they?
Yes. Yes. Are you kidding?
Does one of them?
Both of them do.
Okay.
They both show up. They both love each other. So much so much that someone dies because of it. Sorry, spoilers.
We won't say who dies.
Yeah, we won't say who.
Not be one of them.
But it's, I don't know. It's just it's about the 60s in Wyoming, and
it's very repressed society.
Yes,
it's in Wyoming.
Yeah. It takes place in Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. Those are some mountains.
Is Michelle Williams the other wife?
Or no, Brokeback Mountain.
No.
Anne Hathaway is one of the wives.
And then there's a nobody.
Nobody. Okay.
I
thought she. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Red here. I just wanted to leave a little note that said Michelle Williams did play Heath Ledger's wife in Brokeback Mountain. So very sorry to Michelle. I love you. If you're listening, please come on the show.
Anna Faris is like a side character in it.
Oh yeah, Anna Faris shows up and it's just like, oh hey.
But just the fact that these two cowboys love each other so much that they've had beards their entire lives and just, find each other always coming back to one another.
I feel like there's a little bit of interpretation to that movie, but
doesn't Anne Hathaway know the whole time?
You don't know.
You don't know.
It's left up to interpretation.
There's an implication towards the end of the movie, but you don't know.
You don't know.
Sure.
It's up to you to decide.
Do they have kids? They do.
They both have kids.
Yeah.
I just... Movies don't really shake me that much, and this one just really shook me.
Really
I'm like, this is...
We watched this movie together, me for the first time.
I had seen it 10 years ago, but I was so young, and I was just like, gay cowboys. That was it.
I think that's what everybody thought when it came out.
Yeah, I agree.
Times. We watched this movie, and we were both like, oh, cool, we saw that. That was good.
We didn't talk for 2 days.
And then when we saw each other the day after or whatever, you were just like, I can't stop thinking about this movie. It
was good. It was so really good.
Yeah, it's a really good film. You should check it out if you haven't seen it.
Check it out. I've seen a lot of Wyoming cowboys.
Were they gay?
Maybe.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You never know.
I don't think so because a lot of them that I had seen were older and had wives and kids.
So were
they?
Yeah, but who knows?
No one knows anything.
That's mine. Those are mine too.
Cool. Anyone else? Movie, TV show, relationship? Couple.
Gay initiative is screaming to tell
you have. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have several.
Whoa.
First of all, first one that popped in my head. Glee. Did anybody watch Glee?
I saw some of it.
I think
I have such mixed emotions about it.
Brittany and Santana. Oh, they were my favorite.
I think they were pretty cutting edge.
Oh my
personally.
god.
I really do.
Yeah.
I love them.
For as much as that show was kind of garbage sometimes, it was really good too.
It had Brittany and Santana, because it was the super bubbly, airheaded, just doesn't care if anybody knows who she is, versus this other girl who is super cold and bitchy and doesn't want anybody to think anything wrong about her. and they just like find love and they get married in the end, and it's just so cute.
They get married.
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
You guys, Glee's been over for like.
Yeah, guys, if you care about Glee spoilers, check yourself.
Okay, and then
That's a good one.
Black Mirror.
Ooh.
Kelly and Yorkie from San Junipero. Ugh.
You and the lesbian.
God.
Oh, I guess Brittany was lesbian.
Yes. They were so, oh my God, that whole...
This one I am concerned about spoilers for. If you haven't seen that episode.
Isn't that like a horror show?
Yes.
Yes.
But every episode's different.
Spoilers, whoa. Okay,
not watching that.
Except this episode. This is like the only happy episode in all of the
You can
episodes.
watch it just the episode by itself.
Yeah, because
they're all different.
They're all different stories.
Yeah, like there's no... Even the actors are different every time.
The actors are...
Really?
Yep.
It's not like... It's like the Twilight Zone.
Oh, I'm too scared to watch it.
Same.
Anyway,
Same.
so like... There, like it felt like a whole... Like I saw a whole movie, and I just like... I cried in the... Like, they built up that relationship so much that I actually cried at the end of it. At the end of an episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally just an hour, and at the end I was bummed.
That's awesome.
Watching Black Mirror, I'm very detached from that show, because I'm like, oh, if I were in this situation, it'd be bad, but I don't feel anything watching them.
Yeah.
But that episode, I was like, I never wanted anything more.
And I was so terrified that something bad would happen.
Yeah, it's
I know, but I'm too
incredible.
scared.
Well, apparently we can just watch this one.
Yeah, this one's not. It's not even a scary episode. It's just.
It's not.
So the show isn't really scary. It's more just like tragic. Like every episode ends bad, except
who'd
for.
watch that?
Huh?
Who'd watch that?
People who hate themselves. No, it's a very good show, despite being sad at the end of it. Yes. But this episode was a game changer.
So they're not about like demons and stuff?
No, there's no supernatural. No. There's no supernatural stuff in the show.
Really?
It's science fiction. It's like everything has to do with technology and the ways that people can use it for evil.
Oh.
Yeah. And there are some episodes that are like gross, but there are no episodes. I would say there's no episodes that are like scary in a way that's like there's no monsters or anything other than people just being dicks to each other.
Maybe it wouldn't be too bad.
No. Although, just as the last point, if you do decide to watch that show and you watch the first episode, that's very different.
Yeah, like, don't watch the first episode.
Skip the first episode. Because the first one is not science fiction, and it's very gross and disgusting.
The first one is the only one I want to
gory.
Yeah. Huh?
It's gory.
No,
it's just disgusting.
No, it's not gory or violent. It's just like nauseating.
Now I'm curious.
You're curious about it, but
nauseating, but not gory.
Right.
Is what makes Junipero so good is that because the entire show is down.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yes.
It's also what adds to it. You think the whole time you're like, no.
Yeah, because you expect it to go bad.
I like was expecting at the end like shit, something's gonna fucking happen, and then like it ended on a happy note, and I was just like crying, and it was just so happy.
Well, I think also like gay characters usually have a very tragic end.
They do.
They never get a happy ending. So like for them,
why media?
I don't know.
Because
real dumb.
It's a whole conversation.
I need to know more about that first episode later.
We'll talk after.
Also,
it's disgusting.
Ron and Hermione from Harry Potter, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would have acted it better, but yeah, I understand.
Oh my god. Still bitter.
After all this time. Yeah. After 20 years.
Yeah. Literally. Oh my god.
That's always a favorite of mine. I'm sure there's more, but...
You don't like Harry and Ginny?
No. Who cares about Ginny? Why?
So
I was Ginny for Halloween once.
Why?
Because I couldn't be Ron.
Okay, well...
I mean, I could have.
Ginny was such a boring character, in my opinion.
I thought that was
he should have ended up with Cho.
No, I think he should.
No, Cho.
I think he should end up with Luna.
Oh.
Yes.
Ron should have ended up with Luna. That just makes more sense to me.
No, I think Harry should have ended up with Rita Skeeter.
Ron needed to end up with Hermione because Hermione was so smart and it balanced each other out.
Are you calling Ron dumb?
Yes. Ron's an idiot.
And
I love Ron.
Yeah, but he's an idiot. Yeah, me too, but he's an idiot, alright?
Harry and Luna, I don't know, they like, when they had scenes together, going off the movies, I don't know, it just like, I felt like because I didn't know the books at that point, so I felt like they were setting them up, because like they had scenes together
and
that
the chemistry just was so good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, that was a lot.
Yeah. I know I have more, but.
Anyone else? Carmen?
Have you seen Riverdale season 2?
I have not.
Welcome back to Carmen's Riverdale corner.
You can say it.
I don't want to spoil you. Okay, so I have 2, and I'll say the first one is Captain America and Peggy Carter.
Oh,
Captain America, because
that's so you. It hurts. That's so cute.
My heart and soul, because they never got to actually be.
Oh, see, that's why I think Brokeback Mountain.
What they could have been was so amazing, and it's just so sad.
I honestly thought you were going to say Captain America and Bucky.
No. Wait, I have 2.
I thought for a split second she was going to say Black Widow, and I was going to reach over you.
Oh, wow.
No, Captain America and Peggy Carter, because they're very strong characters in their own right. If you haven't seen Agent Carter, R.I.P.
Yeah.
First season is much better. But
definitely.
Yeah. Second season was trash. Go watch it. But Captain America, very strong character. Peggy Carter, very strong character. But together, they just balance each other out. Yeah. Ultimate power couple.
They're one of those relationships that you understand what they see in each other.
Yes.
Which is rare.
I think that they both saw the real, their true selves in each other. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad.
I love that answer.
I love them. But also, okay, and the second one, I have a lot of them, but the second one for me is Cheryl Blossom and Tony Topaz from Riverdale. And it's because they took a really iconic character in Cheryl Blossom from the comics, took her through season 1, ultimate bitch, bad girl, everything very stereotypical. And then season 2 turned it on its head and said, this is why I am the way I am. It's actually because I've been repressing my sexuality and actually I'm really into girls. And then they brought Tony Topaz in, which is a gang member, and paired the two of them up. And it's super unlikely, but it's so cute and beautiful. And I hope that they expand on them in season 3 because they really didn't do them justice in season 2. Riverdale writers, you should listen to this podcast.
Did anyone watch the TV show? I think it was called Awkward.
Yes.
It was on MTV.
I've seen it before.
Wait, yes, there's...
I've seen episodes.
Yeah. There's the Sadie character who is a whole bitch through almost 2 seasons, and then they finally go into her character. And I always think that's so interesting when they do that. I love that angle.
Yes,
because I never see it coming.
Because I think they were pretty, not necessarily brave, because whatever, it's 2018, but it was an interesting choice to use Cheryl because she's such an iconic character.
Yeah.
To do that with, and that was a really interesting turn, which I did not expect, but I was totally here for. So yeah, they're cute. I want more from them. But yeah,
awesome.
Those are my 2.
What's coming out?
Can't really think of any right now.
That's the problem. You go home and you're like, dang it!
I know. I can't think of them. I'm gonna remember something.
Yeah, but you should go watch Brokeback Mountain, and we should all watch Riverdale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I do have not a movie, but okay, I don't know how,
or a book, or
those characters that, okay, this is not a good one. This is not the kind of relationship I want, but for some reason, I, love to watch it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Okay,
yeah,
so...
because I have those.
So, I can't think of the movies right now, but I'm gonna throw out a song, for example. So that Eminem song, the one with Rihanna.
Oh, yeah,
Love the Way You Lie.
That kind of character, for some reason, I like to watch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because of
he's
yes,
he's abusive, but she still loves him.
Yeah,
I understand,
and it's I don't know.
Because it's common. Because that
watch that
a lot of people.
But of course, they don't want that at all. There's
music
nothing.
Videos.
That wasn't on the table.
It is now.
Janelle Monáe and Tessa Thompson in any music video.
Shut up.
Symphony by Clean Bandit featuring Zara Larson.
I think that one.
The story in that music video, so powerful. 2 gay guys, one dies, and then it's just
it's Brokeback Mountain.
What's the music video?
Symphony by Clean Bandit featuring Zara Larson.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. I didn't know if you guys would like that question.
Yes.
I liked everyone's answers. Awesome. Anyone else have a question?
Okay, let me ask mine because...
Oh yeah, because you have to go.
You might have to go.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Let's go start his night.
So, once again, I had the question, and then I thought of a better question.
Oh, no. And then you forgot the first question?
No. So last time we recorded, I had a question, and then I came up with a different question during that time. Mm-hmm. So then I put this question on hold, but now I'm going to put it on hold again because I found another question.
You better...
Oh, man.
But that's okay because the question that I was going to ask, I think I'm going to have to ask you guys before we were...
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. So we can think about our answers.
Yeah. So, have you guys ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something?
Yes.
And what is it? Like, what was the instance when you realized, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
What was yours?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So recently, last year when I was still in hair school, we went to Chicago for the Chicago Hair Show. And when I got to Chicago, I immediately felt like, oh my God, like, I never want to leave here. Like, I just felt like an instant, like, connection to Chicago.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, like, put that in the back of my head, whatever. I'm like, maybe I'll live there one day, whatever, it's fine. If I don't, then I don't. But for the past, like, month, there have been so many people that have told me who, like, don't even know me that they could see me, like, oh, I could see you in somewhere like Chicago. Like, so many. And then I got in a conversation with people at work the other day, and they were telling me, like, you should just go, you should do it. I mean, obviously, they're like, you should plan it, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, they're like, you need to do it, you need to go. I could see you there more than, like, New York or California. I feel like that would be, like, somewhere that would be, like, better for you than, like, those other two places. And they were, like, telling me, like, things I should do to, like, prepare for it or whatever. So I really feel like that was kind of the universe telling me, like, you need to, like, pull that out of, you know, the folders in your head and
put it in front.
Get going, like, get things ready. I mean, it could still be, like, a few years or whatever, but I think I'm gonna be, like, more focused now on, like, that as my goal. So yeah, that's
beautiful.
It's funny that you say that because that's not my answer, but I feel the same thing happened to me when I went to Chicago for the first time. I was like, this place is incredible, and you just have such a, like, instant connection to that city. Yeah. It's crazy. So who else wants to answer?
Anyone?
I think that it's you having, like, a mental, like, opening your mind to be, like, open to things like that. Because I think I had at the beginning of August, I had just, like, a switch flipped in me, and I was just like, I'm ready to work on me now. Like, I've done a lot of kind of treading water, like, figuring things out, like, what do I want to do next? Like, being there for my family, being there for other people, and I'm like, you know what? Now it's time for me, like, what were all those things I wanted to do when I graduated? What were those things I wanted to do? And how are those going to present themselves to me as opportunities? What do I need to do to get myself there within the next year, within the next whatever? And things have kind of presented themselves, and, like, when I've mentioned it to other people, they're like, I can totally see you doing that. Like, go do it. What do you have to lose? Like, go and try to do those things. So, like, I've been applying to jobs out of state and, like, applying to jobs in New York City and doing things like that. And I'm like, okay, like, I could see myself doing that. As scary as it is, it's all kind of making sense. And so I feel like there's, like, a change in the air, like, in the future, maybe near future. And it also, like, makes sense now, where, like, it maybe didn't make sense, like, 2 years ago. So it's weird. It is weird. I think you just kind of
really sad.
Yeah, I think you just kind of
like
I am
getting really
having such anxiety about you two leaving.
Me too.
But
and you just mentioned
like Austin was saying that, and I was like,
fuck you for leaving.
I think you just have to just.
Well, when you have to do it, you have to do it.
You just kind of open your mind and your, like, heart to, like, saying, okay, whatever happens, cool.
Yeah.
Like, in whatever timetable that happens, I'm open to it happening now.
Yeah.
And it's weird how things just kind of, you're like, okay, I could see that happening maybe, like, in a year, maybe in, like, yeah, it's it happens that way.
Yeah. I guess I feel that way about like going back to school. It was all this. It was kind of sudden-ish. That I was kind of like, it's time now to do it. Yeah. I have to do it. It's time.
The universe is telling you.
Yes, that I need to push myself into that direction because I know. I don't know. I mean, I know what I want in the outcome. I just got to do it. Like keep getting pushed to do it. Yeah, kind of that sort of thing.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever had anything like that spoke to myself that I needed to do something. I've been lucky enough in my schooling and career to I just kind of fell into a really good place, and it just it just happened. Everything kind of clicked where I needed to be at the time that I need to be there for as long as I need to be there.
Yeah.
But recently, I've just had like these signs that just kind of like creep up. Like my mom had just started coming to my office. She's gone to a different office, for dentistry. Started coming to mine, and we take blood pressure like every time we see a patient. So her blood pressure was really high. And then so this was back in February. And I'm like, okay, you're just nervous because a lot of people get nervous. And she even said, she's like, I'm wicked nervous. I don't know. I don't understand that, but.
I don't know why she said wicked. She's not a boss.
I know.
I get nervous every single time.
I'm wicked nervous.
My blood pressure's always high. Yeah.
And so then she would come back again and it would still be high. And I don't know. It just I'm like, okay, there's a reason you started coming to my office so I could see this. And I'm like,
right.
You have to go and do something about this.
Get it checked.
And I thought for sure she would fight me on it because that just seems like something she would do. Like, don't be stupid. I'm fine.
But she was
just like, yeah, I probably need to go make an appointment. And I'm just like, okay.
Did she go?
She's going. This is recent that I
but you need to go.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing about
because
this.
it's been stressing me out. Like even mentioning it.
Yeah.
Because so much can happen when you have high blood pressure. You're more susceptible to heart attacks and strokes and everything. And I'm just like, if I'm given all these signs and I do nothing, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens.
At least now.
Hey, it's not your fault if something happens, but it's good that you are taking that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I cannot lose time on.
Mm-hmm. I know. So, neither. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I do.
Yeah. So
I don't know what I do.
Just that. That's really been
super close to my mom.
So I'll start my answer to this question by saying that I don't believe in signs from the universe or things like that. No, I just think
that's just him. Yeah.
And I think I think it's all just people. But I do think that there's a certain level of that I'm not supposed to do creative things, and instead I'm supposed to do like sell out and just do mechanical stuff and work on cars or whatever, because everything that I've ever done online has gotten almost no views or clicks or responses or whatever. But every single person in my life is like, oh yeah, we're mechanics, so if you ever want a mechanic job, working in a shop on cars or whatever, we can help you. And every time I've been like, oh yeah, I'm going to school for engineering, they're like, oh yeah,
there's a great need for that.
Yeah, there's a great need for that. Everyone needs their cars worked on or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work on cars in a shop. I don't want to be a car mechanic. But that's what everybody assumes that's what I'm going to do. And
you're not going to do that. That's not even what your degree is.
I know, but it is. Mechanical engineering.
That's engineering. That's not literally working on no, it's not. It's not.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Oh, cool. Well, that's what it feels like the universe is pushing me towards. I'm going to fight that, but that's what I feel like I'm being told.
Of course, really sad. I feel like when we say the universe, I still feel like it's like God saying, pushing me in a certain direction. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel, but I know not everybody thinks of the same thing that way. That's what I always think of.
No, I always think it's that too. And I'm a person who does not have the organized religion thumbs up. No. I'm not that. And I never admit that I'm a religious person, but I do think it's that.
Yeah.
I go back and forth with that.
And that's okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. You don't need to decide what you believe in.
I think if you're feeling a pull towards something, you can interpret that as whatever you want. Like, I would say, like, oh, God's putting us in my path, but you might not say that. But it's still there for you to interpret.
It's still,
And that's what's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. I never knew you felt that way.
Really?
I never knew you noticed that, like, you never got recognition for the art that you put out there.
Yeah, so it's like the creative versus...
Watch, now this is going to be the most popular episode.
I hope so.
And we're going to get famous from it, but...
What's the opposite of creativity? Like, just labor, working, physical...
I don't even... Now that's a question.
Like, doing nothing, I guess.
No, not doing nothing, but like...
But being a sheep.
Yeah. Like working on a line, like a conveyor belt, just like putting a thing in place.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what the universe is pushing me towards, when what I want to do is like write and be funny and do internet stuff and be like a personality and be like, hey, everybody. But I feel like the universe is like saying, don't do that, do this other boring thing. Which is depressing, and I'm gonna fight it forever.
Yeah.
I'll go to my grave trying to be funny.
Yeah, you will. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So that's my answer.
Whew.
Right.
Deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be so mad when you guys leave.
Well,
oh my
they
God.
might not. So.
Yeah. You don't ever know.
All right. Good question. Hey guys, it's Mr. Red again. Just wanted to let you know that during this section here, Mischief Gay had to leave, and we cut that part out, and then we didn't really have a good jumping on point. So Woods, L is about to go with her quote-unquote question, which is actually a statement that she wanted to make. So here that is.
Mean Girls the musical is the best thing ever.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with
Mine
it.
is related.
Obsessed.
It was perfect.
Wow.
So obsessed. Like, I love it. I like want to work towards going on tour with them or something.
Who would you be?
Regina.
It's going on tour.
Janice.
It's going on tour in
Total
2019.
opposites. Love them
those are
both.
very
But
opposite
I fit more in the range of Regina,
Uh-huh.
to be honest. My voice.
Yeah.
In your look.
I'm
Stereotyping.
pretty sure.
Mischief Gay left, by the way. So
Yes. He would agree with you, though.
he would agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just got it on vinyl. I just got it on
You
vinyl.
did. I saw it on Twitter.
Yes,
Wow.
I
didn't
just
see
got
that.
it on vinyl. It's 2 pink records.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
I
Yeah.
love
It's raining again.
Oh man. Okay, I'm done.
That's Michigan.
That was it.
Cool. I
That was
love that show. It's great.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That's it. Okay.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen it yet.
I
I haven't even seen the whole show. I've just listened to every song.
I think I've listened to the one song one time.
Revenge
their,
Party.
Yeah.
Watch their performances, like Tony Award performance, and then
Yeah,
that was very
seen some of
rushed,
those.
though. If you listen to it, it's
You
different.
know what? I thought when I saw that on YouTube, and I thought that this was like a really sloppy. They weren't
It was
giving
very
their
rushed
all.
because they wanted to have all their Tony nominees in the performance, and every single person, including the swings, were in their performance, which I appreciated.
Uh-huh.
But it sounds weird because it's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I agree. Concur.
So that ties into your question.
Yes, because I love Mean Girls so much.
Mm-hmm.
I follow a lot of the cast on Instagram, so shout out, guys.
Insta.
And I've been wanting to do a little bit more to support living an eco-friendly lifestyle. At work, we've brought on a new line of products that supports sustainable living. So,
Living green.
yes, a lot of the cast of Mean Girls on Broadway does a lot with Broadway Green Alliance, and they've been trying to live green lifestyles and have done a lot with the no straws, like say no to straws and things like that.
Yeah.
So if you are on Instagram, it's at Simply Straws, and on Twitter at Simply Straws. That's a great company. I just ordered a glass straw from them, and I got it this week, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that expensive. It was under $15. I got it like a 10% off discount code if you go on their website. And the cast of Mean Girls just got delivered like a bunch of them, so that's how I found out about this company, but they're great. And they have a lot of other eco-friendly products, so my question would be, do you guys do anything to help the environment, whether that be like using your own bags when you go grocery shopping or recycling or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I sometimes go buy hairspray and just aim it out the window and just leave the whole thing. Yeah, so I don't know if that is good or bad. I don't know. I mean, I recycle. I try to...
He recycles a lot. Like, things that I wouldn't even think. And he's like, yeah, you can recycle this. I'm
it's got the little triangle.
Do you have a recycle bin here?
Yeah,
no.
but...
Well, like, in the apartment... Yes.
In my specific room, no. They don't, the building doesn't.
I sneak mine up to VG's.
I take it home with me and recycle it.
Yeah, because Clever Girl's house, she lives in a house with her parents, and they have like a recycling plant. I don't know how this works. Like,
when the garbage comes, there's also a recycling truck that comes and takes it.
I live in an apartment complex, and we have a dumpster, and so we don't have a recycling thing. But I give my recycling to the cleverest girl.
So I would assume in some, like, larger cities, they do have a recycling truck that comes and picks stuff up? Because, I mean, so many people in big cities must recycle.
I would think so.
Right, like, you don't take the stuff yourself.
So.
Yeah.
Yep, I bring my own grocery bags.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have some
I recycle
of those.
so much. I do adopt a highway cleanup.
Done that.
I take mine up to the store when I take like any bottles or anything back, but usually my recycles are more than the bottles I have. But I'll just take them up and just
and put them in the big bin.
In the big recycle bin, I mean, I could take them over my mom's, but it's just so close. It's
convenient,
right there,
which is good.
I don't think you're supposed to do that, but like
they'll figure it out.
Do it anyway.
If it works, it works.
I wish that they would put a return on water bottles. I wish they would do that. First of all, I wish people didn't.
I wish there was less water bottles.
You use.
There you go. There's one. I literally went onto Amazon and I bought like a 6-pack of water bottles that were made of glass. And I used those because plastic water bottles, they're just so bad. Even like bad for you. Like that you.
The BPA.
Yeah.
There's BPA, which is bad. You can like develop cancer, especially from when you first get it, like from a vending machine or whatever, or a store. Like the packaged stuff that they send you, like they ship it in, like has more cancerous stuff in it. It's
really
wild
raining.
out there. Yeah.
I mean, I have a reusable plastic water bottle.
Yeah.
I have an aluminum one that I use.
Yes. I've been trying to use my water bottle like that more.
Yep.
Yeah, I have. I was at the farmer's market a few weeks ago with my mom, and I wanted to get a straw. But the only straws they had were like this long, and I don't know why. So I didn't. They were like aluminum.
Like tumbler length.
Yes, they were like aluminum ones. So I didn't get the straw, but I got the straw cleaner because I haven't seen them anywhere before.
I didn't know what company to get because they have stainless steel, they have glass, they have all different kinds. But this specific brand that they were using at Mean Girls, I looked up and I was like, okay, this like seems pretty legit. They had all different colors, all different sizes. Straw. Some of them were bent glass straws. Some of them are straight. They were longer.
They're glass.
They're glass.
I like the collapsible
Mine are a little bit
ones.
shorter. So like if you put it in a can of pop, it would stick out about like that much.
Oh, cool.
So there's different lengths, but like that's the one I got, and I think
do you throw that in like the dishwasher?
It doesn't come with any sort of cleaning brush or a case. Those were both separate purchases. Okay. But I do have something to clean the inside of it, and I guess you could like buy a case or make a case for it. But I guess they are dishwasher safe though, it said.
I feel like you use a straw and then you can just like run water through it, like turn on the faucet and then it's
as far as drying, clean. You'd have to like make sure it dries properly inside. But no, I think that they are dishwasher safe too. So
yeah, but there's collapsible ones that you can put on like your keychain, so like when you're out, you can just
really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, because a lot of places are going with the strawless. Like they're starting that trend.
I think that's awesome.
I went to the Lavender Festival and they had like lavender.
The Lab Fest.
I missed that.
It was awesome. And so we had lavender lemonade, and their straw was like a noodle.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were like.
It was really cool.
It was edible.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I didn't eat it, but it was cool. That I'm like, oh, you could just like throw this out, and it'll disintegrate.
That's probably the biggest thing that I do for the environment is I use Twizzlers as straws.
Talk about plastic. That's all those are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, basically. Like wax.
The thing that I do the most, though, not to like, we won't talk about this, but like, vote for people that care about that stuff. It's one thing that I do.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. It drives me crazy when people don't. I personally at work was like, we need a recycling bin. Like, that is enormous. And I always am on my coworkers like, okay, the glove box, you gotta recycle that.
You know,
like everything.
The glove box.
Like the boxes are gloves.
Yeah. Boxes of gloves. Yeah,
the boxes are gloves.
How about can they recycle the gloves as well? Or
unfortunately, I don't think so because it's a biohazard.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I was just.
I wish someone invent that.
Invent gloves that
disintegrate over at least
That would be great because in every single office out there, they probably use a million of them a day.
Yeah. Literally today at work, I was listening to a podcast from 2012 because I went back and binge listened to the whole thing, and they were talking about littering and how in the show Mad Men, which is set in the 60s, it was made today currently, but it's set in the 60s. They would have picnics, and they would just we're done with this picnic, just push everything off the picnic table onto the ground and just leave, because back in the 60s, littering
That's so true,
was not a thing that people were concerned about. They're just I'm done with this thing, I'm going to put it on the grass outside and just be done with it. And, we've just come so far in just how we view...
I pick up trash all the time.
Well,
when I go for walks,
why we are where we are.
It's
because that behavior continued, and...
It makes me very angry when I watch the videos online where it's the ocean and there's just so much trash.
I know.
But I do like that they've invented those filters that just kind of float along and suck in the water and get keep the trash.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end all be all problem solver to do stuff like that, but it's every little bit that you're being conscious of what you're doing.
Right. If everyone could do it, it would make a big difference. But
yes.
It's the companies that really...
Not to diminish your thing, but I read a thing, I don't know who said this, but one person going their entire life recycling will not make a difference in the slightest, but
you know what? It won't add to it.
It won't add to it, and if everybody does it, then it makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
But it really does come into the hands of the companies.
The companies.
That's where, because if they don't provide it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing right there. But it's money. They don't want to do it because they'll lose money.
Right.
In these multi-billionaire, companies, that's sad.
Yeah. And there are things that smaller companies can do to help, grocery stores like VG's or Walmart or whatever will accept bottles as returns, and you can but they don't accept everything, for example, water bottles.
Yeah, there's Aldi, which I love. You have to pay for a bag.
That's how they are in California.
So people bring their own bag.
Yeah,
that's when I started.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And I got these bags for $1.99 at IKEA.
Because I have a reusable bag.
But we always keep the plastic bags, and if we get enough of them, we recycle them. Or you can use them for a million things.
I think most people have this, but I have a cupboard that has a plastic bag in it that's full of plastic bags. Yeah.
Yes, I have that too.
I never throw those out. Always recycle them.
Yep.
One other thing for my cat box, biodegradable doggy bags I used to put in.
Yeah.
So
basically, now that it's 2018, literally every single physical item should be biodegradable. There's no reason not to. Everything you can think of. Glass should be biodegradable.
It is.
Great. Well... I just think the technology's evolved that everything can be.
Something that I saw recently that I was just man, I want that so bad, is these little pods of shampoo where the package, when you run it underwater, it disintegrates and then you have
That's
it.
Cool.
That's genius.
That's great. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get out there, inventors, make that stuff.
Yeah.
People are going to get it.
Well, the main thing that I do for recycling is make a podcast called Peeves and Qs, which we just did an episode of. Woohoo! So if you liked what you heard, you can share it with your friends on social media like Facebook or Twitter, for example. If you also want to leave us a comment, you can do that. You can also email us at peevesandqspodcast@gmail.com or send us a Twitter thing, whatever, at Peeves and Qs.
A Twitter thing?
A Twitter thing.
You can tweet questions
You can tweet Twitters at us, and I'm specifically myself individually at Mr., spell it the long way, Red2342. That's at Mr. Red2342. Does anybody else have something they would like to plug other than the Mean Girls?
Did we say like us on Facebook?
Like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, we have a Gmail. I said some of those things. Yeah. But yeah.
Like us, share us, rate our podcast, 5 stars only.
Go to iTunes,
leave a
click
review.
on the review thing.
Leave a review.
5-star reviews. That is how you tell iTunes that we're a real podcast. Because if nobody reviews us, iTunes is just what is this?
We need you.
We need your help.
Let Mr. Red have a career in art.
Yeah, remember that
and
thing I talked about?
Our podcast.
Yeah.
And share it.
And share it. And Sharon.
Sharon!
All right, well, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Get in, bitch.